Hey guys, and welcome to part 2. I'm happy that you made it till this part. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet, since 93% isn't subscribed yet. And now back to the video. In the previous part we saw that Lee Yoon was talking to a man. After training in the basic training school, he asks Lee Yoon if he knows anything about sculpting. But Lee Yoon isn't sure what he means by that. And now back to today's chapter, where Lee Yoon asks the man if he meant creating statues by sculpting. The man confirms him that he is talking about that. Lee Yoon wonders why an instructor who is into muscles and sword training is asking him about sculpting. He wonders if this is a quest, and he states that this kind of rush quests usually give better rewards. He wonders if he needs to answer a certain way to get the quest. He decides to reject him for now. He tells him that he is a man of a sword and that sculpting has no value to him. The instructor is happy to hear this for some reason, and he tells Lee Yoon that he has a heart of a warrior. Lee Yoon notices that he answered in a good way, but he still wonders why he was asking something like that. The instructor tells him that there was a rumor that someone sculpted the Moonlight, but Lee Yoon states that it won't be possible for a human being. But the rumor was told by a knight to the instructor. He asks Lee Yoon if he can investigate the rumor for him. A low-level quest pops up. It's an E-level quest to visit the royal palace. He needs to solve this quickly, since he's hungry, but he earns money by completing the quest. But he wonders why the quest was activated this way. It was kind of mysterious for him, but he accepts it, and he will visit the royal palace. He got 2 silver coins for it. This isn't much money, but since he's been poor his whole life, it felt like a lot to him. He goes to the noble metal store in the town. The people there might know something about the sculpting rumor. As he walks into the store, he got looked down on immediately. He tries to ask something, but the store owner tells him that he is too busy. He already sees comparisons with the real world and the game. He admires the sculptures. He views it as real art. The shop owner thinks that he is interested in sculpting because of the way he is looking at the sculptures, but he just acts like it to gain information. The shop owner asks him to sit down and have a conversation with him. He sees the prices of the sculptures and realizes it's hard to make money with, so he does not take this quest very seriously. He asks about the rumor. He claims that he heard many years ago that someone sculpted the Moonlight. The shop owner claims that he heard it as well. Lee Yoon then gets a quest alert. The quest claims that the Moonlight actually was sculpted. He now has to go to the royal palace to get more information on this. The first quest was easy to complete and he did gain experience, but the shop owner claims that this is a mystery to him as well, because the people of the kingdom don't tell him anything as well. But he mentions the name Acey. Lee Yoon realizes that this might be a quest chain. Yvain is the name of the queen. The quest warns him that if he is found investigating the rumor, he will be exposed to hostility from the royal knights. The further you get in the chain quest, the harder the difficulty becomes. He decides that the only quest he will be doing for now is collecting the information, but he thinks he's still not skilled enough to accept the quest. But the quest was accepted automatically. He had no chance to refuse it, so he walks out and looks for the royal palace and the royal knights. He has to be very careful, but he asks someone on the street where he could get information about Queen Yvain. So he enters a house where a woman is sitting all alone. She was the assistant of Queen Yvain, but that was a long time ago, but she still talks positively about her. Lee Yoon immediately asks about the day that the Moonlight was sculpted. She asks Lee Yoon to give a good reason why she should tell him, but he does not have an answer to that. She asks him again why she should tell him, but he cannot give up now since he needs money for food. But he decides not to push her. He's trying to make her as comfortable as possible. He's giving her a massage. He does it always to his grandmother, so he's used to it, but it's still kind of weird to do to a stranger. He then proceeds to compliment her, in the hope that she will give him the information of the quest. He tries to be as friendly as possible. She asks him what he thinks about sculpting. It's the same question that activated this quest, so he realizes that he needs to give the same exact answer. He tells her that he doesn't care about it at all. She then wants to tell him something. There's something he must know. She first was suspicious that he was sent by the kingdom. They have been trying to get information from her for a long time. Lee Yoon asks her why he tried to silence the people speaking about this quest. She wants to tell him since he's been nice to her. She claims that if he was a spy, that he would praise sculpting. She then tells the story of the legendary sculptor. Queen Yvain loved the one who did that. It was sculptor Sahab, and they grew up together. The two of them became very close, and Queen Yvain hoped to be Sahab's wife one day, but it didn't go as planned, and she became the queen. And Sahab could not stop her fate. They promised each other something. He promised her that he will craft the most beautiful sculpture one day, and all that for her, and she never forgot the promise. Days passed, but nothing happened. One day Sahab came to visit her, but he did not become a sculptor, he became a warrior, and she asked him if he forgot the promise. But he did not. In a split second, an assassin kills everyone present there, and he tells her that he will show her the most beautiful sculpture he promised. And he indeed sculpted the Moonlight in front of the eyes of Yvain and her assistant. The Moonlight was shattered in front of the blades and danced upon the blades as well. He was singing a song while sculpting the Moonlight. All the assassins were killed by Sahab, and he kept his promise. The old lady reminds the sight of his blades like yesterday. A screen pops up. It announced that he completed the quest. He gained experience and leveled up. He has the chance to advance his class to the Moonlight Sculptor. It's a hidden class, which will likely make him a lot stronger. Usually there are 3 classes, the warriors, mages and clerics. But there are also 3 hidden classes, the Moonlight Sculptor, Berserker and Blacksmith of Iron Blood. Obtaining an hidden class is very hard. The chance of finding information about a hidden class is 1 in 10,000. But Lee Young has seen something like this in the guidebook. But he refuses the hidden class, since sculptors don't make any money. But he takes it in reconsideration anyway. He then heads back to the basic training facility. But there are more people than usual there. People recognize Lee Young as the person who beat the Scarecrow 4 weeks in a row. The people around him were not able to hit it for 1 hour straight, so they admire his determination. People even wonder if he might be an NPC, since it's inhuman how he has been working. Back when he was at the house of the assistant of Queen Yvain, he got a gift from her. Lee Young really appreciated the gift. Inside the box is a knife and a sculpture carved out of wood. He touches the knife and feels that it is special. It had something to do with the story of Queen Yvain and Sahab. This was the knife Sahab used to make wooden sculptures. It was the only item Queen Yvain still had from Sahab. A notification pops up that he gained the sculpting knife. He plans on selling the knife. He thinks that he will make a lot of money with it. But the old lady reminds him that the royal knights will come after him if he sells it. She claims that there might be a secret behind the knife, so Lee Young needs to keep it safe. She claims that inside the wooden sculpture will be a resting place for Sahab. She hopes that his history will never be forgotten and that she can listen to the song once again. Lee Young gets yet another quest. It announces that Sahab actually didn't die. He lives in a continent far away. He has to learn the song from him and sing it for the old lady. It's not possible to abandon the quest, but since it's an A-level quest, it will gain him a lot of experience. He continued training till all his stats were maxed out, but he was completely worn out after that. He finished it in 4 weeks, but a lot of people now look up to him since he's one of the first to max his base stats out. He then gets attacked by a man from behind, but he was able to dodge it. He tries to deflect the blow, but his wooden training sword breaks because of it. He gets angry at the man, but it appears to be the man he met in front of the basic training school. He leveled up a lot in 4 weeks, so he became unrecognizable. He is now level 280. He tells that Lee Young is amazing for hitting the Scarecrow for 4 weeks. He tells him that all the people started to mimic what he was doing. There has been a rumor going around because of him. People think that they will miss out on getting stronger later in the game because they didn't do this. And that is actually true, since it makes a big difference when 2 players are the same level. Not only that, you will be able to kill things faster as you progress in levels. He claims that other players don't have the willpower that Lee Young has. He claimed that he never met with the same determination as him. He looks forward to their next meeting and tells Lee Young not to disappoint him. Lee Young claims that he will be disappointed for not having progressed as much as Lee Young himself. He claims that he is one of the most determined people on the planet. The guy laughs and tells him that he is a funny man, and he will be looking forward to it. Lee Young then sees the instructor that sent him to the hidden class. He spent 4 weeks with him together. The instructor tells him that he likes him and gives him a sword, since his training sword broke. He tells Lee Young that thanks to him a lot of people entered the basic training school. The instructor didn't think that he would last so long, but Lee Young claims that the instructor helped him a lot. He asked how many people completed the training like he did. He was the 17th to complete the training at this facility, but worldwide there were 3,800 people that completed this training. He also gets a sword strap as a gift. Lee Young asks if there are more training facilities on the other grounds. The instructor tells him that there are more, but the instructor claims that the only ones who are fated to train there will get there. Lee Young then gets another quest to explore the Lidford Cave. It's a really good quest to test his strength and to gain experience. Fighting will finally be the biggest part of the quests. He has now the chance to exterminate monsters. He only has to survive since the knights will be killing the monsters, so he only has to be idle. But he declines the quest, which shocks the instructor.